Have you heard about this young man named Emmanuel Jackson?
I have not.
He is
Enlighten
20
me.
years old. He was one of the few black folks at the insurrection on January 6th at the U.S. Capitol in D.C. He was seen on video using a baseball bat to hit police officers. He says he was fighting for America. And there are some folks out there who are pointing out that many of the white voters are being denied bail. But he has been denied bail. It's very interesting. Listen to this.
Emmanuel Jackson is one of the latest Marylanders charged in connection with the riot at the U.S. Capitol. Federal prosecutors say he was one of the first to enter the building and repeatedly struck police officers with a metal baseball bat. Jackson from Prince George's County turned himself into police. He explained why he was there in a video posted to Twitter.
We've been taken over by globalists, by the Chinese, but for America. I'm not here for Trump. I'm here for America.
He said we've been taken over by globalists, by Chinese, and he's fighting for America. And it's just fascinating. And all that fighting for America has him behind bars. Not like the woman who reportedly tried to steal Nancy Pelosi's laptop and she's on these streets. But it's really interesting. It's some really interesting, it's just fascinating. It's kind of a interesting commentary on, I guess you thought you were one of them. What are your thoughts, Richard?
Yes, I guess he thought he was one of them, Clay. You know, but the overall sort of theme of these folks who invaded the Capitol, and I tweeted about this a couple weeks ago. You know, and I don't know how else to say this, but let me just put it this way. If these individuals were of color, if they were African American, if they were of Muslim or of Islamic descent, they wouldn't be denied. They wouldn't even, I mean, I don't know how else to put this, right? They would be under the jail. Like they wouldn't, this ideal of going to a bail hearing and getting all their due process rights and getting a fair shot and getting the justice system sort of giving them an equal chance at it, that really wouldn't have happened at all. Like, not like, think about this, like the shoe bomber, for example, right? Who tried to detonate a bomb on a plane coming from London to the United States. Like once that plane landed and they caught him, we never saw him again. Like he didn't come out. He wasn't given bail, none of that. Right? And these are domestic terrorists who engaged in domestic terrorism in the highest order. They invaded the United States Capitol. So the fact that they're being given house arrest and the fact that they're being granted bail and the fact that they're being allowed to, one of the individuals, he was allowed to be given bail in his own reconnaissance, but he can't enter the District of Columbia. These sort of light sentences, like the court thinks are not flight risk, but they're dangers to the United States government. They're danger to the people. And the fact they're allowed to sort of walk freely, even though they've committed acts of domestic terrorism, is beyond me, because if they were of a different religion or if they were of a different color, this wouldn't happen to them. So
but I want to know from people, do y'all feel for Emmanuel Jackson?
No, I don't feel for him.
866-801-8255, 866-801-8255. He has been denied bail. Wait, let me just say this. Let me just be clear. He has been denied bail when folks who don't look like him have not been denied bail. So do y'all feel for him? Are y'all on his side? I'm on your side, like Jennifer Holliday. Are you on his side? 866-801-8255. He was in the sunken place. He got caught up in the quicksand, and now he's behind bars, 20 years old. It's just fascinating to me. It's like,
there should be no mercy
should we care?
Any of those individuals.
No, I get that, but I'm saying that the difference of how he's being treated and how the other white folks who were in the crowd with him are being treated. I personally don't feel sorry for him. You did clownery, and you found out that you were a clown. But I've seen a lot of folks
be under the jail. You should be right under the jail.
But some folks on social media say, wait a minute, you know, if we care about Black lives, we got to care about this life. I've seen folks say this is wrong. This is not why is he behind bars?
All
Denied
of them.
bail.
Listen, I mean, you know what? I'm sympathetic to that argument. I think if the white folks who invaded the Capitol are allowed to walk freely and, you know, they're given bail, then go ahead and give Emmanuel bail. But the larger point here is this, Clay. If you decided to invade the Capitol on January 6, 2021, you shouldn't be given bail. You shouldn't be given house arrest. You should be in Supermax, the Supermax jail, waiting for your trial because you are a terrorist in the highest order and you should be treated as such, period.
I agree with you, but I think the larger point is that I think Emmanuel Jackson might have learned a lesson.
Don't hang out with white folks who are trying to invade the Capitol?
Well, I'm just saying, mate, you know, he said he's fighting for America. And I'm just saying, like, there are these moments when folks are in the sunken place that they're suddenly snapped back to reality just for a hot millisecond. I can recall when Diamond and Silk said Fox News was racist because they fired them, yet you were happy to go on Fox News and tap dance and eat banana pudding and fried chicken or whatever concoction it was. You were happy to do that. Then they're suddenly racist when they don't like you no more. I just think it's funny. Look at Omarosa. She suddenly figured it out when she got fired. Emmanuel Jackson, you're 20 years old, you're behind bars. I mean, the charges against him, it tickles me. I get a little tickle out.
Fox News racist after they fire you. That's how I work there. I don't call them racist. They have folks in there who I disagree with, but I don't call them racist. I work there. But when you get fired and you call them racist, that's what I call a disgruntled employee. But I think
yeah, especially when you're peddling misinformation and propaganda, and your ass got suspended off of Twitter. But I just think it's funny that Emmanuel Jackson, 20 years old, has been denied bail. He's out there fighting for America, and then he found out, oh, you're going to learn today. You're going to learn what America is really about. Really about. I don't know Emmanuel Jackson's mental health state. I don't know what it is, but I see some folks feeling for him because they are some folks I know are abolitionists. Are like, well, either way, I don't believe in any person being behind bars. But for some reason, my sympathy card isn't there. I don't know what it is. You learned
that part.
You learn. That'll learn you, as Nina Simone once said. Yeah, I find that really interesting. Emmanuel Jackson, 20. I mean, he's on. I don't know who he thought he was, but he's on camera with a metal baseball bat hitting a row of police officers with a metal baseball bat. And now you're denied. And there have been some folks who've been denied. Let me just be clear. There have been some folks who've been.
All of them should be denied bail.
They all should. But here's one that isn't. And it's the intersection of race, politics, criminal justice, and there's a young man in the sunken place that learned. And it just tickles me. It just tickles me. Because the truth is, Richard, they're not all going to be denied bail. That's not going to happen because that's not how this country really works. So in my ways of like trying to care about, you know, all these things, for some reason, my empathy chip isn't there for Emmanuel Jackson. I don't know. Why isn't it there? Does anybody have to?
It's not there for me. I have no sympathy for him.
You don't have any sympathy for the fact that people who did what he did were not denied bail?
Oh no, I feel like I said, I feel his pain on that.
Oh, I don't feel it. I don't even feel that.
But I don't sympathize with him because I think all of those individuals should be under the jail, including Mr. Emmanuel.
Mm-hmm. And you were there, Mr. Jackson. If you ever listen to this, if you hear it on YouTube or on our SiriusXM app, you were there with folks who had a Confederate flag.
But that's what I mean. I wondered, did he not look up and realize that he was out of place?
He probably enjoyed it.
Like, because I would have looked up immediately and been like, okay, so there goes the guy with the Confederate flag. There goes the guy with the MAGA hat. There goes the guy with the Auschwitz camp sweatshirt. Oh, wait, maybe this crowd might turn on me. Let me get the hell out of here.
Emmanuel Jackson is from Maryland. You brought your ass down to D.C. and did what you did. That'll learn you. Let's go to a call. Let's see if anybody has some sympathy for this 21-year-old man who's behind bars. Let's see. Anybody? Oh, damn. I don't see one. Well, I'll see what I'll do. Let's go to a DC native. I just was wondering if anybody has a warmer heart than me. I know we got some Christians out there that got to be like, you shouldn't be behind that. I'm a heathen. I don't even know. Let's go to a DC native, though. Monica from DC, first-time caller.
Hey, Clay. Well, yes, you know what? Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
I am a Christian. I'm saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost, filled, fire, baptized, washed in blood, and sold out for Jesus. But let me tell you one thing. I laugh from a deep, deep down place at Emmanuel Jackson. But this is a piece that I want to see. You know, we as black women, you know, we will attack other black women, but we will come.
Oh, where'd she go? I was enjoying that.
She was getting ready to get good.
Wait, but we're still on. Monica, you there? Oh, Lord have mercy. Let's put that on hold because I was enjoying that. Okay, put that on hold.
That was getting ready to get good, Clay. That was getting ready to get good. By the tone of that conversation,
yeah, it was good. It was good.
That was getting ready to be a read.
Well, let me give you a little bit more details on what Emmanuel Jackson has been charged with. I want to make sure y'all know. You know, we're Urban View. We cover all kinds of black folks, and we're going to cover you today, Emmanuel Jackson. All right. So again, he's from Maryland.
Read the rap sheet, Clay. Read the rap sheet. What is he being charged?
Rap sheet. Yeah, this is the thing that we have to know. Again, he's seen on video surveillance footage making a fist and repeatedly striking at a U.S. Capitol police officer while he tried to enter the building. He was one of the first people. They let the black man go first. They said, "Go on in. You'll be the first in line." He was one of the first people to enter the building, according to federal authorities. He was interviewed the day of the riot. Blah, 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 blah. Again, he said he was fighting for America. He was seen wearing a black hooded sweatshirt in a tan military. Is that your phone, Richard? Turn your phone off. That's your phone? Turn it off.
That's my computer notification. Stop.
He was seen in the tan military style backpack, blah, 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 blah. Okay, he turned himself into police and admitted he was a part of the riot. And he's been hit with federal charges. Oh, Lord have mercy. This is bad. What's the actual charges, though? I don't know what the actual charges are. Can you all find the actual charges, please? It looks like maybe the actual charges aren't public, but he's been hit with federal charges, which could mean...
I'm assuming he got a police brutality charge or like hitting a federal officer. I'm assuming he got unwanted entry into a federal building, trespassing. Those are just the three that I could think of.
Good gosh. Yeah, but you're hitting a federal officer? It's just fascinating. Yeah. It's time. Yeah, I don't see the actual charges here. May not be public yet. All right, let's go back to Monica. Monica, are you there?
I am here.
Okay, go ahead, Monica. Go ahead.
Monica's back. Yes, Monica.
Yes, so this is what I'm saying. The problem that I have is this. As black women, we always hold up our brothers, but we will sit there and tear down a sister in a minute. What I want to see is this: how many sisters come to Emmanuel Jackson's rescue of, oh no, they doing this brother wrong, seems though he's not at all for our agenda.
Mm-hmm.
I hope none. I hope zero.
And and Monica, this is a good point. That this is why I always say it's not always about race for me. It's to quote Zora Neale Hurston, not all my skin folk are kinfolk. And clearly, you aren't kinfolk if you were walking into a federal building trying to really basically more or less advocating to overturn the votes of millions of black folks in Detroit, in Atlanta, in Philly. You aren't part of it. Folks think I focus on race so much. It's not really that. I'm focused on, are you on the agenda of folks having voting rights? Are you on the agenda of not being anti-poor? Are you on the agenda of believing that history is important? These things. And this man isn't for 20 years old. I don't know what's going on in his life. But yeah. Yes.
And I think that's the point. And I think that's the argument that I think you don't hear enough, even as yesterday, Clay, as the Congress sent over.
I'm sorry, brother. Richard, we have the actual charges.
Boom.
A number of charges, Emmanuel Jackson, which include, like you just said, assault on a federal law enforcement officer with a dangerous weapon, knowingly engaging in any acts of physical violence against any person or property in any restricted building or grounds, and knowingly entering or remaining in a restricted building or grounds without lawful authority. All right, here's another touch. Okay, now my heart's starting to get warm.
Don't.
According to Yahoo News, Emmanuel Jackson is reportedly homeless and suffers from mental health issues. Okay, now my heart is getting warm now. He's reportedly homeless and suffers from mental health issues. Anybody out there feeling differently now?
No.
Now my heart's getting a little warm because I used to be homeless. I would have never stormed the Capitol building, but I would have never done that in my wildest dreams.
You're doing an injustice to all those folks that are homeless and have mental health issues.
You're right.
Did not storm the Capitol.
You're right. You're right. No, you're right.
There are hundreds of thousands, and I live in the District of Columbia, of homeless folks in D.C. who peacefully go about their day, who do not storm the Capitol. So don't even like mention his name and their name in the same sentence.
You're right. You know what? You're right. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.